Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we head to Newell, West Virginia and visit Fiesta Dinnerware during their indoor tent sale. I also prepared Devil's Food cupcakes with homemade frosting. But first, a check-in with Kravitz Deli's new owner. Since the late 1930s, the Youngstown area has had Kravitz Deli serving deli specialties. It all began with Rose Kravitz. Then her son Jack took over. And now a new family will continue this Valley institution. So, as I told you, it is still a family affair. But not the Kravitz family. It is the Rydarowitz family. And from now on, I'm just going to call you Matt.
Okay.
I did get that last name out. I said it correctly. And you are coming up. You know, this is going to be about a year. And I wanted to see, you know, the state of the union, how things are going in your first year owning this business.
They're going pretty well. I mean, it's not everything I expected, but mostly everything I expected. You know.
Well, you did have a couple challenges.
Yes.
You know, coming out of the pandemic, you purchased this, and then you had a fire.
Yeah.
And what, 2 months you had to reassess and re-clean and get everything ready to reopen?
Yeah, it was about a month and a half. We had to tear everything out and rebuild everything from, you know, the ground up and you know, go from there. And then we got released to work out of the kitchen while they were still working on that. So we were doing takeout for a little bit. And then...
So what changes did you make? You know, that was a little bit of a chance for you to change the footprint and do some things that, you know, maybe, you know, Jack wasn't doing.
We updated the dishwashing area, like put stainless steel on so it doesn't destroy the wall anymore. So we had to gut that whole area out while we waited for our new hood to come in. Other than that, it was just like the hood and, you know, adding some things on the menu that we wanted.
I know, so let's talk about this. Now, can you believe this? Since the late 30s, the Kravitz Deli has never once fried a French fry.
Yeah.
And you finally got them on the menu.
Yes. And
were they asking for it? Why did you really want to do that?
Nobody really asked for it. I mean, it's just, you know, when I came here and worked for Jack and stuff, and like, I would get a Reuben or a crowd on fire, and I'm like, man, this would be awesome with French fries.
That's yeah.
So when I took over, I said something during an interview on the news with Jack, and I think my mom was at that one, when we talked about me purchasing, and we were letting everybody know I was purchasing the business. I was like, yeah, maybe by the end of the year I got French fries. Well, we kind of came through, and you know, it was the beginning of this year, but
they're delicious. Hand cut
every morning, and you know, we cook them right in front of you, so you can see that they're done
exactly
right.
They're done correctly. Well, the Rydarowitz family tree is expanded. See, I told you this was a family business. We've got Patty, who runs the catering side, Inspired Catering by Kravitz, and then we got Bree. She is in charge of the Garden Cafe by Kravitz over at the Rose Garden in Mill Creek Park. And you have been probably the longest with the Kravitz family.
I have.
Did you encourage Matt to take this step?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Did
yeah.
he listen to Mama?
He did. He did. When a year before the pandemic happened, Jack had approached me and said, you know, I'm going to retire soon. It wasn't supposed to be till next year, but, and then 2020 happened and it kind of put everybody behind.
Right.
And with me being my age, I kind of told my son, why don't you invest in the deli, keep it in the family? You're a little bit younger than I am.
Not much.
So
not much. You were very young when you had him.
Very young, yes. Very young. But, you know.
And you're like, hey, I've got enough family
right.
to really help you out.
Right.
Because that's like the hardest part of the restaurant business after the pandemic
right.
is your employees. But
right.
we've got sisters and cousins and ex-wives. You know, the one big happy group working together. I mean, that really does make it easier.
It does. He has, in his favor, with me being with Jack for almost 10 years, he has his sister taking care of one of his entities. He has me taking care of one of the bigger ones, which I've been at Inspired Catering from day one.
Right.
You know, that was mine and Jack's whole thing. That's my baby.
And it's got a great reputation, you know, and
yep.
a lot of catering places have been around for over 10 years, you know?
Right. And then his ex-wife is the manager here. We still have the chef that's been with us for 14 years, you know, so it's, you know, we have family all over the place.
And, you know, the little changes and tweaks, you know, what did you find necessary? Because I'm sure you relayed some of your things to Matt and gave him your opinion.
Well, the first thing I told Matt, and I was real like down on him, was I did not want to change a lot of things.
Right.
I'm all about the Kravitz name, the corned beef, the Reuben,
the recipes, the soups.
Right. The events that Jack has started, we continue them.
Fat Tuesdays.
Fat
and all,
Tuesdays, Pierogi Day, all that stuff. We decided that we wanted to keep stuff the same, just enhance it.
I mean, you guys are carrying on the Kravitz tradition.
Right.
And now,
right.
I'm going to say this correctly, the Rydorowitz.
Absolutely.
Tradition.
It is, yes.
But we're not going to change the name.
No.
It's Kravitz.
It's Kravitz. It's Kravitz. It'll be Kravitz until Cameron decides he might want to change it in 30 years after his dad retires.
Now, Cameron, do you think he is going to want to follow in your footsteps?
I mean, he already knows how to make a bagel, so might as well. Might as well go.
So this could be, now how old is Cameron?
He's gonna be 5 in June.
He'll be 5. So this could actually be, you know, in your family for at least 70 more years.
I got 30, so I mean, if he takes over, what? He'll be 35. He has another 30, so that's 60, 70 years, yeah.
And I'll tell you, I mean, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, from one family to another, you know, the institution lives on.
Yeah.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers. I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery, eating drinking, celebrating. That's what you're all about.
Yes, we got a lot of great things on our menu. We got some great weekly specials, great chef specials, great happy hour. Chef Tank's back. So we're just doing our thing here at Magic Tree.
And if you're partying, don't forget about that banquet room. It seats up to 150. So whatever you're celebrating, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is here for you.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, today I am going to bake my favorite cupcake / cake favorite combination. It would be devil's food cake with buttercream frosting. And you know, I'm a little baking challenged. And I can't even tell you where I got this tip from. But it is using a cake recipe, and instead of using the oil, you use butter, and instead of water, you add coffee, and the eggs stay the same. And I'm telling you, it really does taste like it is made from scratch. It is so delicious and easy. And I remember reading it used like a name brand, you know, either Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker. So I'm gonna use some Betty Crocker. For this recipe, you'll need 1 box, 15.25 ounces of Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines Devil's Food Cake Mix, 1/2 cup of melted unsalted butter, 3 eggs, and 1 cup of cold coffee. All right, so you can use an electric mixer or you can use the stand mixer, but I already got this out because I'm gonna use it for the frosting later. So I am going to put in the cake mix and just dump it in. I'm going to add the melted butter. Let that sit for a minute so it doesn't cook the eggs. Then I'm going to add the coffee. This adds a really nice, rich flavor. And the 3 eggs. All right, so dump those in. And I'm just gonna do this over medium. Until it is all combined. So it looks really good, but this was the other tip I got. What we're gonna do is for 1 minute, the last minute, put it on high and get it really whippy. Okay, so now get this off of, you know, the blade as much as you can. And then we will fill the cupcakes. Don't forget, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So as you can see, I've got the liners in the tins. And to get it up 2/3 of the way, which is the perfect proportion, so they don't rise over too much, the cupcakes, about 1/4 cup. So I'm going to take this. I'm trying not to make a mess, but I always do. And then let's see. And we put that in the liner. Look how nice and whippy this is. I'll have to clean this up. You know, I just can't do this neatly. So now they're all filled to the best of my abilities, which we know are lacking. And we're gonna throw these in the oven for 20 minutes. Now, this is the recipe that came with the cupcakes. So it is a little bit older and it does have vegetable shortening, but it's still really good. So let's go over these ingredients. For this frosting, you're going to need 4 cups of powdered sugar. You'll need 1 cup of vegetable shortening. You'll need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You'll need 1 cup, 2 sticks of salted butter, and then 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. These have been sitting so they're room temperature and they're super soft. And this is the salted butter, because that little bit of salt is needed for this. And then it is 1 cup of the vegetable shortening. So I'm gonna put this in. Yep. Well, this looks nice and creamy. Very well combined. And then we're going to add the vanilla. And the first cup, we're gonna add these in 1 cup additions. So we'll add the first cup of powdered sugar. Start slow, because we don't want the big puff. and then we'll increase it, and we'll be adding this 1 cup at a time. Now we'll add the second cup. Now we're gonna add the last cup. All right. Okay, so now we are going to add the 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, just to kick it up a notch. And we are going to put this on high speed for about 1 minute to really combine it and get it fluffy. All right. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Jelaine, join me for the frosting of the cupcakes. Now, I don't know when I bought these, but I must have been feeling ambitious a few years ago, and I actually bought pastry bags with tips. Now, I've always heard that you start in the middle. Ooh, it's coming out the top. Ooh, and you go like this. That doesn't look bad. Well, we're gonna take a break. This is some hard work. Now, Jelaine requested a little Bailey's on the rocks, which I think at any time is good. Yes. You wanna give that a try before we take the taste? There you go. Thanks for coming over.
Anytime. Good time to come.
That's delicious. We're gonna be on a total sugar high today. Okay, so here we go. You ready? That tastes like a professional, doesn't it?
It does.
It's really it really is good.
Yes, it's very good.
I would not steer you wrong, and I really don't know how to bake. Just go to my website, caseymaloneshow.com. Look for the Devil's Food Cupcakes with the buttercream frosting. It really is delicious.
It's great.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
It's happening now. Construction is underway at Gabacamp, a year-round destination for adults with disabilities and their families to get away, close to home, accessible to all, with no barriers. Donate now to Gabacamp. Giving is living.
I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Eating, drinking, celebrating. That's what you're all about.
Yes, we got a lot of great things on our menu. We got some great weekly specials, great chef specials, great happy hour. Chef Tank's back. So we're just doing our thing here at Magic Tree.
And if you're partying, don't forget about that banquet room. It seats up to 150. So whatever you're celebrating, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is here for you.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Angels for Animals gigantic garage sale is April 21st through the 23rd at the fairgrounds. Incredible buys, great food, and raffles. For more information or to donate items or volunteer, visit angelsforanimals.org.
Well, it's been almost 3 years since Fiesta has concentrated strictly on home consumers. It's now the Fiesta Tableware Company. It is still produced right here in Newell, West Virginia. And we're gonna go into their showroom, and I just happen to be here when they are having their indoor outlet sale. So I'm ready to go. While Bill is shooting some footage, I brought my towel, gonna check out the seconds and save lots of money. Well, it has been a while since we have featured Fiesta Tableware on the show. And right now we're down here in Newell, West Virginia with the Director of Marketing, Katie Bricker. And we are in the museum part, which is really one of my favorite places because it shows your whole history of China.
Yeah, we've been making dishes for 150 years and we've got a little bit of everything in here.
And I love that you have the original, Fiesta ware, which was discontinued in the 70s and then reintroduced in the 80s. But now that you are solely concentrating on, the home tableware, that must give you so much more freedom to really develop some different products for the customers.
Oh yeah, it's given us much more focus where we can really tune into what is, what colors are popular and what our customers like and, new items that'll help our customers maximize their Fiesta displays.
And I've noticed you've done a lot with like the holiday stuff.
Yes.
You've got a lot more different things for Halloween. I just love that candy skull. That was very cool.
I love that.
And you're doing a lot of different stuff, but let's talk about these older pieces.
Sure.
When we go back here, this was still when you were doing, would this be part of the restaurant or would this be part of, the homeware?
This would have been made for homes. So we were primarily retail based from the time our company was founded in 1871 up until 1959. And that's when we started making restaurant china too. So this display here, this was from the 30s and the 40s, and this was for people's homes.
You are bringing in a new color, Jade.
Jade, yes.
Which is awesome. I think it's a beautiful shade of green, but then something has to go.
It does, yeah. So we only have so much room in our plant to produce so many colors. So we usually try to keep it about 13 or 14 colors in the line. So when we introduce a new one has to go away. And this year it's slate. Yeah.
And I think slate was really different for you guys. I mean, I thought that was a really different color that such a muted, such a modern color.
Yeah, it was really an update on the neutrals that we had on the line.
Now, anytime that you visit the factory headquarters here in Newell, you can always come into the retail shop, and they have got everything that Fiesta produces, but we also happen to be here for the tent sale, and that is really when the seconds, you really move those out.
Yeah.
And how much of a discount do you get in the sale part?
It varies by piece, but it can be up to about 80% of what a regular piece would be sold for.
Are there any specialty items that are only available here that really aren't available in regular retail stores?
There's a lot of things because our retailers kind of pick and choose the pieces that they think are best for their assortment. But here at our retail outlet, you can buy any piece in any color. We've got it all here. So this is the best place to shop for Fiesta.
Do you take special orders? If people wanted special things to commemorate, a family event or something, are you able to do that?
We do. We have a limit. I think we have to have 150 pieces or so if somebody wants to do that. But we do custom decoration.
And everything here can be shipped from anywhere in the country, right?
We have. We can buy here in the store. We have 2 other stores, and we also have a website online. So that's fiestafactorydirect.com, and that ships all over.
Katie says I could start working here because I do love my Fiesta ware. And look what I'm holding. It's not released till when?
It'll start being available for sale in June.
In June, but I'm here, and I'm telling you, I've got Jade right here. Look at this vase, good application for this. Your vases really are nice.
They are pretty.
Are really good. And then this is a great mug. And I just love this color. It's not as dark as, I believe it's evergreen.
Yeah.
And then, but that shamrock can get a little bright. So this is the perfect mix. It's jade. And I will be getting this in June. Although if I talk to Katie, maybe she'll get me out a little bit early, but I doubt it. It's not for sale. Look at that, I love this right on the back. So luckily we are here for the big tent warehouse sale. 3 times a year it goes on. And what do you have, these are seconds.
Yes.
And where do you store them in the meanwhile? So things that don't meet your standards.
Yes.
Even though if it's a little burr or something that It's still food safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what we call our seconds, we say that they have aesthetic flaws. So it's a scuff mark or a little, just something that makes it not able to sell as first quality. And our plant is huge, so we have plenty of room to sell them, but we bring them out especially for the tent sales.
And how does that work? Like, so you have all this china and all these, tableware items produced. Is there a line? Who is your quality control? Who checks these things?
We have several lines of quality control. So the pieces are checked several times throughout the production process.
Lucy and Ethel going, down the
shoving the chocolate.
Hey, it's this bird breaking on the ground. But I'm looking now, I don't see any flies. Like, I bought a lot of stuff here in the seconds, and it really.
Oh yeah, it's a great deal because unless you're looking very closely, you really can't see it a lot of times.
This is open all the time. 7 days a week, you can come to this retail space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they always have the seconds room.
Yep.
But the big sales only happen 3 times a year. So make sure you check their website, and then you're going to find out all the details, what days. And there's usually about, a 3-week run on them?
The indoor sale is longer, but the outdoor sales where we have the big tent, those only go on for about 4 or 5 days.
Okay, so you've got to check that out. And it looks like Fiesta Tableware, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, right?
No, we'll be here.
We're going to have this forever.
Yep.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.